We wanted to build to a higher standard, and that's what LEED certification is. It's a higher standard of building green. We need to meet a certain scoring criteria that's documented by a third-party certifier. Holly Street Homes will create two-family homes to be sold to low and moderate income families. These 4 units will be located on Holly Street in Bridgeport and will comprise the first affordable greenhouses in Connecticut, incorporating products, technologies, and systems that will merit the home's Gold LEED certification. The goal is to build market-competitive, cost-effective, green, affordable homes that can serve as a model for other communities.
There was a prototype developed by a sustainable architect and students from the Yale School of Architecture. BNT hired me to finish the design and to develop the construction documents for the project. We looked at a lot of different materials and methods to make the building as green as possible. The original design was really just a layout. And so we knew what the developer's budget was.
This project, which is a 2-family, cost us approximately $500,000. So it's $500,000 to build this house. To make this home affordable, we had to raise $300,000 in grants to write down the cost from $500,000, what it cost to build it, to $200,000, which we intend to sell it for.
The fact that we're building a house on an infill site in a developed neighborhood, I think is, encouraging other people to do similar things on existing properties. And all of that works to sort of elevate that particular neighborhood and the block.
It took a lot of work to assemble the financing to make this project a reality, but the home is now priced, affordably for a lower income family. It's actually $199,000 for a 2-family home. The owner's unit has 4 bedrooms in it, 2 full baths, and then the renter's unit has 3 bedrooms and also 2 full baths. So the idea behind this house is that a low income family can actually own this home, right? And the rental income from the tenant helps support the mortgage on the property. The principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on this home will be approximately $1,200 a month. If you offset that by $800 that you'll get from the rental income, the family will pay $400 a month. The reason why this project is so important is because affordable home ownership opportunities just don't exist for low-income families. And this is a problem not only that Bridgeport has to deal with, but the country has to deal with.
Usually you design a project, you put it out to bid, you find a developer, and then you start building the project. LEED encourages having those relationships in place as early on as possible, because sometimes the architect may have ideas and the contractor has either a different means or a different method of putting into place those ideas that'll benefit the project in the long run. I have weekly meetings on site and just making sure that the plans are followed and that construction runs smoothly.
Well, there's 2 things we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to use recycled products to get our LEED credits. We have a durability checklist that we have to go through to get LEED certification. So there's certain criteria we have to meet. We're going to use permeable and impermeable substrates. So we're using, for the front of the house and on the sides will be our driveway, which will be done out of asphalt, like a normal driveway. All our walkways, though, will be done out of gravel or some other type of permeable material, meaning that the water can seep back into the ground, not causing it to run off into the sewer, into the main sewer, the city sewer, also giving back to the groundwater. We also have a very large water retention system that's going in, meaning that all of our leaders and gutters will be filtered into a water retention system in the front of the house, which will be concrete galleys in the front of the house, collecting all of our surface water and bringing it back into the ground. You're also going to have, rain barrels that are catching some of the water that can use for irrigation.
There are things like landscaping. We make sure that we're not using vegetation that requires a lot of watering and things like that. We're getting points for the indigenous landscape materials and things like that.
Yeah. It's mostly a paving walkway. It's really the biggest thing is the paver and walkway. There's gonna be 2 little sections of grass like this big. We use value engineered framing. We went 24 inches on center as opposed to 16 inches on center, which is standing building practice. We're saving material, cutting down on waste, as well as having a bigger cavity to spray our insulation in, so you get a better R value and less air loss. These are our low E. These are the tax credit certified windows. They have low Aragon, which is Aragon filters, meaning it's a double pane, it's insulated throughout the glass, and it meets all your low U factor, solar heat gain coefficient, and visible transparency. It meets all your low standards. It's part of LEED certified. Yes, they're Energy Star rated, and you get the tax rebate on them.
We have a design for kitchens for these 2 apartments, and we're looking for reused materials to fit out those kitchens. And this is a place that takes donations of used kitchen counters and cabinets and fixtures and refurbishes them, and we hope to be able to put some of them to use in these units.
I actually
They have 2 kitchens.
Yeah, and I have a kitchen in the back that might suit the needs for both spaces. Is their budget $4,000 per kitchen?
4,000, I think, per kitchen.
These are all the measurements?
Make sure that it
Yep,
works.
2
Yeah.
uppers,
Okay.
upper, lower, 2 pantry units.
This setup works.
Yeah.
We can use a lot of it. This corner right here.
The kitchens come out whole out of someone else's house. And so we've got to figure out how we can piece them together to fit into our smaller format. But the units are beautiful and in very, very good condition and probably won't take a lot to sort of make brand new and are going to cost us about half as much as they would have cost otherwise.
Want to do the oak? This is a nice neutral oak as well.
They're KMA certified.
So they're not going to have formaldehyde and stuff like that, but they're not.
I'll give this to him. They're
That's good.
environmental stewardship program, KCMA.
Perfect.
So they're green. The first set of siding that you see here on the brownish colored, which is called cedar impression, CertainTeed product. It's recycled vinyl, 60% recycled vinyl siding with an inso board, which is insulation behind it, which gives us more R values for the interior of the home as well. Green Guard wrap, house wrap. It's a specialty product. It's called the Raindrop Green Guard house wrap. What it has, if you can get close up with the camera, you can see it has black lines, perforated lines within the product. So if any rain or moisture does get behind the siding, it drips out down through the foundation, so it doesn't cause any interior problems.
You gain efficiency with the spray foam because you create an air seal. So as opposed to traditional insulation where you have that air leakage, now with spray foam, it's an air seal. You don't have that warm air leaking out in the winter, losing heat out of any recessed lights or exhaust fans in your pull-down attic staircase. All those where normally you would lose heat out of, now they become within the conditioned space. The heat stays in. The foam manufacturers say 3 to 5 year payback. It is 3 times the price of traditional insulation, but from a standpoint of savings, I have guys that it's $1,000 to heat the house, and they do the same house spray foam, and it's $500.
There is indoor air quality, which is controlled by making sure that ducts are closed at a certain point and there's not dust getting into them during construction.
Our HVAC systems are high efficient, high seal. They're all Energy Star rated. All of our ductwork has to be specially wrapped so that there's no heat loss at the joints. 24-hour a day Panasonic special green fans for in the bathrooms that allow to move air more efficiently. PVC plumbing, the same kind of electrical wiring. We're going to be using all minimum gallon per flush toilets. Sinks are going to be low per gallon. All of our fixtures are going to be the minimum required that you can use for water usage. So we're going to try to use as little amount as least as possible. And so you save energy, save water.
I'm here to observe on the process of the installation of the spray foam. I saw the actual process on how the spray foam is sprayed in and how they measure it out. They show you how that with the spray foam, how it helps you save more energy as far as heat and cold loss.
In the long run, the payback on all of the non-conventional materials and methods that we use in this house is probably about 15 years.
The homeowner that buys this house is going to see a 30% reduction in their utility costs, also helping to ensure that the family is successful in home ownership. That's what we want to be doing.
We're creating a house that's going to have lower gas bills, lower electricity bills. For the user and the owner of the house, ultimately, it's going to be, a great place for a startup, for a family to live in.